art? How is art incredible? Is it incredibly beautiful just because it appeals to your eyes? Or is it because it speaks to your heart? So today I'm going to share with you a little bit of incredibility of art. For example, when we look at a painting of the Mona Lisa, what do you find? How do you find it? How beautiful do you find it? And does it speak to you? What is more than that makes your eyes? It is a message underneath the painting. A message from the painter, Leonardo da Vinci, 500 years ago, speaking to you. It's like the message traveling through time, but in fact, that space is infinite. And that infinite space creates a message that travels through time, that is timeless and vast and immense, because a message from a person is conceived so differently by different people. Some people might be touched by her moving eyes, some people might be touched by her smiling smile, but some people might be just thinking, why is this painting famous? All in all, the concept is there, the message is there. A message is like water. It's formless. It's beautiful because it's formless. You drop it into a cup, it becomes a cup. A bottle, it becomes a bottle. And you drop it into a sea, it becomes an ocean. And that is so vast. What else is formless? What else is ever-flowing and ever-changing? To me, that would be emotions. A smile, a frown, a heartache, a tear, or anger. Because emotion is never changing. The emotion you are feeling now and the emotion you are feeling 5 seconds later are all different. Just like love between two souls, mother and child, or between two strangers, when you meet in town and just smile at each other. Something that is from your heart is flawless. It flows through time. It flows through the message of your heart. And that is why emotion is also an art. I'm an intuitive artist. Emotion and stories define my artwork. So this time when I was in Paris last summer, I saw a group of children chasing bubbles. And at one point, I wanted to paint this joy of these children so much. I wanted to have that story, that timeless story whereby you can just open a storybook and it's always there ready for you, for you to embrace into your heart. And that smile is so unforgettable, but at some point I don't know how to do it. Have you ever seen a colleague at work that is always frowning, always angry, and then one morning she comes to work and she says, "Hi, how are you?" And what's your natural reaction? You go like, "Hey, what's that? What's the story?" You know? So emotion and story equals to art. So how do I want to embrace this emotion and story into art? It's by also feeling the emotion of what I wanted to paint. Back to the children in Paris, I wanted to paint them 2 weeks after that. Sometimes the feeling lingers in your heart, but to get it out is so difficult. Because at times, after layer and layer of emotion accumulated over time, we don't seem to find that simplest feeling we ever feel when we are a child, that joy. So one morning I walked up to a hilltop, and this is the view I saw, so beautiful. And I was so touched by this nature, the beauty of this nature. I felt so amazed that I felt like I was a child again, looking at the bubble. Remember how you look at a bubble when you were a child, you were chasing it, and that bubble holds the world in its reflection, And that is the amazement of joy. And that amazement of joy is more than meets the eyes. It's in your heart. The emotion, the story, is art in your heart. How do we spell heart? H-E-A-R-T. Art is in the heart. Maybe it's a form of ancient wisdom, I suppose. But I think there is always an art in each person's heart. Whether you are an appreciator of art or whether not. But art is what we perceive it as. It doesn't necessarily have to be a painting. It can be an architecture. It can be a book, a smile, an appreciative pair of eyes. It can be photographs. It can be something from your heart. Because when you speak or when you treat someone so genuinely from your heart, it is art. Just like Vincent van Gogh say, there is nothing more truly artistic than art is to love a person. And like Mona Lisa, the painter of Mona Lisa, Leonardo da Vinci says, art is never finished, it is only abandoned. And I would love to think of that as art is eternal, between you and me, between a soul to another, and there is art in your heart, because everyone is a piece of art. Thank you.